Welcome back to the channel, guys. Glad to have you as always. And as you notice, we have the podcast mic up here on the video, synced all that editing magic for you guys because we wanted a little bit better audio. This is such a huge kickoff project for the channel. And again, just a huge shout out to the folks, especially Kristen, the marketing manager at Savage, for teaming up with the page again for another off-season gun build. And I just can't believe it's finally here. I've been waiting a long time for what's sitting on the box over here on the workbench, and I can't wait to show you guys exactly what they sent. But first, if you haven't already, I mentioned earlier the podcast mic. If you haven't already, check it out, the Part-Time Hunter Podcast. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on Google Podcast. Most of you guys probably listen to it on Apple and Spotify. But guys, go check it out. We got a lot of content. We do a weekly show. Actually try to do 2 episodes a week with our busy schedule. One is the BS Report, where we cover everything non-hunting related to get you guys some off-season stuff, kind of refresh your mind and kind of take a break from the monotony of hunting stuff if you're trying to enjoy your summer. But we do have some awesome hunting guests as well. Just did the deer drone recovery, so you guys go check that out. But again, the Part-Time Hunting Podcast, the Part-Time Hunter Podcast. Go check it out. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But without further ado, if you guys can't already see on the screen behind us, that is, let's see if I can get you there. That says the Savage 110 Carbon Tactical, and that's exactly what the fine folks at Savage have sent us to do a build/review video on. So I've never, personally, me living in the North Georgia mountains, we normally build out deer rifles for short engagement type stuff. I mean, you're talking like 100 yards. I think the biggest local range I have access to, the public range, is a 100-yard berm. So not really stretching the legs or the capability of the caliber that we've got sitting on the bench here. So we've got a Savage 110 Carbon Tactical and a 6.5 Creedmoor, and you guys are going to freaking love the build. We got a lot of partners coming down the pipe. We're going to put some really nice glass, some nice rings, possibly, some kind of muzzle device. I'm not sure if we're going to go full-blown can or maybe just a cool muzzle brake. Definitely a sling, definitely a bipod of some kind. And just kind of go from there, just kind of see where this build takes us. And I think I still have access to 1,000-yard shooting, which will be the actual the crescendo, the grand finale of this project. When we get all those steps lined up, get our maybe hand loads, maybe something off the shelf, maybe do like an ammo shootout with the 6.5, and also show you guys how you can actually take a factory gun that is actually affordable and that's very reachable for the average working guy, and can build that thing up to actually be a 1,000-yard gun, but also be very usable for your deer hunting, your big game, your predator hunting. The 6.5 Creedmoor has so much as far as versatility, bullet weight, all that stuff. We'll get deep into the weeds, I promise you. But for now, let's kick this project off with some unboxing. So guys, this is live. We're shooting this live, no fancy editing. Just going to edit this audio for you. So check out what is in the box. First off, Savage sent obviously an awesome user manual. This thing goes in much greater detail than I can. It gives you all the safety features. This gun is equipped with the AccuTrigger system, so it's definitely something that you're going to want to familiarize yourself with how to adjust it. I believe it goes down to 2.3 pounds, which is extremely light. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing if you do go that light. But this is an awesome safety feature. Read your manual, get familiar with your firearm, know what you're doing before you handle this thing. Next up, we've got some swag, got some cool Savage stickers. We've got a cool dope chart. So dope charts are very important for guns like this. So this is a sticker that's pre-made from Savage to show your wind, your range, your bullet weight calculations. That will go on your rifle. What a cool, handy-dandy piece of just accessory that is, something that you don't have to have. Some NRA stuff, which is always good. You guys should join the NRA if you're not already. You've got a gun lock, which is always nice. And then this little bitty tool here is to adjust the wrench to adjust your AccuTrigger system. So, earplugs as always. And guys, just preface the video, this gun is unloaded. I have 6.5 Creedmoor shells, but they are tucked away into the gun safe. While you're doing these videos, if you want to do this, or if you're doing this in your own home, if you're cleaning a gun, if you're showing a gun off to a friend, please, please, please do not think you are that experienced enough not to have a negligent discharge. That is the worst thing you could possibly do. You could kill yourself. You could kill somebody in your house. You could kill a neighbor next door, depending on what caliber goes off on accident. Make sure you don't store these guns in a safe with the ammo stuck inside. Make sure you're using dummy rounds if you're trying to check headspace or something like that. Just be smart and practice the rules of gun safety, and you'll be fine. So without further ado, check this out. Here she is. This is the all-new Savage 110 Carbon Tactical. Let me see. The 110 Carbon Tactical, guys. This thing is an absolute featherlight beast. So you get from the factory, you get a composite stock that is actually aluminum bedded all the way through the entire chassis. So it's going to hold this action, this barrel, very tightly. So this thing is going to actually be very accurized. I sound like John Fetterman now. It's going to be very accurized from the factory. So they've done everything they could in a factory gun to get this thing as accurate as possible. You've got a included 20 MOA rail that's going to give you plenty of adjustment from the factory. And this is actually a very, very solidly built Picatinny rail. We may do something different. We may keep this one. I don't know yet. You've got a 3-position safety. So you've got full safe, bolt open and access, but still won't fire, and then full fire, and it's right here on the tang. I really like that, and it's really quiet. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's very, very quiet. So when you're in the woods actually trying to disengage this for an animal, you're going to be completely fine because it's not going to go click, click, click. You're going to be completely good there. Probably the nicest feature of this gun, and I can't believe Savage shelled out and brought this to a production rifle that is non-proof research, but this is a proof research carbon barrel. This one is a 22-inch thread adapter ready, so thread pitch for muzzle devices, cans possibly, but this is a proof research stainless barrel that has got embedded carbon all the way around it. This does a lot of things. It does better harmonics for when you're shooting, so it dampens the shot. It dissipates heat a lot faster. It's super durable. I'm going to try to clip in here the crazy guys over at Proof Research to show you just how tough as nails this barrel is. So check this out.
Out in the woods or at the bench as we do, things happen to your rifle that ordinarily maybe you wouldn't suspect.
There you go, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Greg. Good shooting, by the way, partner. So I'm going to introduce one of our key players here at Proof Research to further demonstrate the quality and the toughness of this carbon fiber barrel. You can see here, brand new barrel, obviously just been shot, just came off the rifle. For you construction types, notice that I'm not hitting into the open cell. I got it sideways. This is going to be a test of durability, not only of the barrel, but of my golf swing. Let's check it out. See what happens. Well, that stung a little because it's about 20 degrees out here. But let's take a look and see what we got. You can clearly see that there's some concrete powder on there. Let me see if I'm blowing that off of here. No abrasions, no chipping, no cracking, no chunking, no splintering. I can run my hand right on there, nice and smooth till. How about that, folks?
So what you guys just saw is a full-grown man, probably the inventor of it, take a barrel off, beat the shit out of a concrete block, put it back on a rifle, and it literally shot this much high, still holding, zero. That's pretty freaking insane. And that, take my money at that point. That's worse than anything you could possibly encounter on a hunting trip. I don't care who you are. But again, Proof Research, what a crazy, awesome, nice barrel they could have chose to top this thing off with. You get a 10-round box magazine from the factory. This is a Magpul brand, which is labeled 7.62. So this is your, like a 308. Anything that shoots 7.62. This also holds the 6.5 Creedmoor. So very accessible. You could probably find these most of your local gun stores or order these online very cheaply. This is a 10-round magazine, so legal in most states that don't believe in. We won't go there. Anyway, these are very accessible. You should have probably 5 or 6 of these, and that way when you go to shoot like a competition long range, or maybe you're doing drills with it, it's super nice to have these, not have to reload one magazine over and over and over. I'm going to probably have 5 or 6 of these by the time the project is over, just to have an inventory, because it's never a bad idea. You've got a super, super nice and well thought out bolt handle from the factory. So obviously the Savage branding here. I want to hold this up for you. Obviously the Savage brand on the bolt, but you've got a super nice, tactical, good feeling bolt handle, something you can definitely grab onto if you got big hands, small hands. It's got a little bit of knurling machining here, so it's easy to get a hold of in any kind of weather conditions. Gloves, especially gloves if you're hunting, it's probably going to be cold, or if you're predator hunting in the winter. Super, super nice. A really nice feature. These are easily changeable, so if you've got an aftermarket bolt handle, I watched the video, so you can actually swap this out if you wanted to. But just a great, nice feature that they didn't have to do. They could have just thrown a regular bolt from the 110 series in there, but they didn't. They chose to do this nice, big, oversized version. All right, guys, last but not least, you guys probably noticed the comb riser on the back of the stock there. That is not an accident. Just like you guys saw on the Renegades video last year, they did include the AccuFit system. So what this is, pretty much to fit any shooter out of the box without any kind of customizing or anything like that. You've got several of these length of pull adjustments here. So you've got length of pull. So for any size shooter, you got a big one, a fat one, a small one. Kid, youth, grandma, uncles, sisters, brothers, anybody can shoot this rifle and be comfortable doing it. You've got a ton of cheek risers. This one goes to the moon. This one's about halfway. And you've got another 2 more. So you've got a total of 5 cheek risers included in this purchase. So you literally, you don't have any excuses to buy this and say, well, it wasn't very comfortable, I really can't shoot it. That's absolute horseshit. Anybody can shoot this gun. They make it possible in the box. No other purchase necessary. You can fit this gun to, any shooter that we're talking about here. Other features that I'm trying not to forget, but you've got 2 sling swivel studs up in the front. We've talked about the MOA rail. We've talked about the full-length aluminum bedding. A super, super soft recoil pad. You've got the cone riser adjustment here, the AccuTrigger. Just a super feature-rich rifle, and that it doesn't weigh a whole lot. You've got a 22-inch barrel, so plenty of time to get this thing dialed in at whatever estimated range you're trying to accomplish. And I think you guys are going to see this thing built out to the fullest with me on the channel. So it's going to be kind of a journey, guys. I'm going to be reaching out to some long-range gurus, getting some tips and tricks, because like I said, I live in North Georgia. I don't live in Idaho. I don't live in Montana. I don't live somewhere where I've got access to thousands of acres to shoot every day. So, something to, some sort of a learning curve really is what we're going to be experiencing together. So if you guys are interested in building your own long-range rig, wow, I bet John Fetterman couldn't say that, a long-range precision rifle build, then you guys are going to want to stay tuned. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. Just a quick unboxing video for you here on this day off during the week for you. And go check out the podcast. Check out the IG Mojo Buck 80. I'm going to have a lot more probably in-depth like stories and updates there, so you guys want to stay tuned for that. But as always, guys, love you. Thanks for following the page. Give us a subscribe. Stay tuned to the project because you're not going to want to miss it, and we'll catch you on the next one.